Commercial versus residential property management. Okay, so commercial property management is a totally different beast. While residential focuses on individual tenants, commercial deals with business and business owners, typically leases of a longer duration, and negotiations are typically more complicated and prolonged because there are often several different considerations in a commercial lease. And above and beyond that, we're not even touching on clients, being our clients, strategies and higher level sort of outcomes. Commercial management fees are typically a lower percentage-wise. That said, there are different models. Some are a fixed price model. Some are a percentage based on rental collected. They can vary, as we said in the previous video. But again, typically that reflects on the typical input of day-to-day touch points. So a residential tenant, you're typically going to have more touch points with them. There are going to be more details to do, whereas a commercial tenancy is often, not always, going to have less touch points required and likely less conversations and less reporting as well. There are differences under the Property Stock and Business Agents Act, if that's what it's still called, by way of what is required for each different category of property and service you provide for that. Key differences: commercial leases could be, and we're being very broad, 3 to 5 years per term, whereas a residential tenancy typically could be 6 to 12 months quite often. So we go back to that inputting of services and how often and the frequency. Tenant modifications. Commercial tenants typically have scopes of work. Their scope of work is often a little bit more like a building project, in which how you approach it, it's a bit more strategic and documented. Whereas conversations with residential is very different and unstructured. So there's a lot of conversations have to be interpreted as to people's intention, and we need to fill in a lot of detail to make sure that there isn't a misunderstanding, and it comes back to the over communication that property managers need to constantly engage with. Rental reviews often for commercial are pre-negotiated, so it'd be more of a case of application during most terms. Market reviews are a slightly different beast, whereas residential, there is no fixed formula. It is really more about market analysis and comparison. In that sense, legislation, again, different beasts. The Residential Tenancies Act is one basket. The Retail Tenancies Act, Strata Titles Act, and a myriad of other acts that we need to be across. For commercial contracts and residential tenancy contracts.